On Saturday, January 16, 20-year-old junior welterweight boxer Julian Sosa of Sunset Park made his Barclays Center pro debut, leaving the ring victorious and making the night by far his biggest bout yet. The full-time college student floored Bryan Timmons in the second round to raise his undefeated record to 4-0. Welcome, Julian Sosa. What'd you think of that piece first? You ain't got nothing to say either. Nothing to say. I get it, me either. All right, well, just keep it clean. Well, we won't make it rain, right? All right, okay. Before we go back to that debut, tell me how it all got started.
It was about 13 years ago. Mm-hmm. I noticed, as an adolescent, I noticed my father, during like 4 to 7 o'clock, he wasn't home. And that's because he was training, but I didn't know that at the time. So I was just curious, so I decided to ask him one day, you know, where would you go at these times? And he told me he would go to a boxing gym, which was at the time Sunset Park, PAL. And I just asked, you know, take me. So he decided to take me one day. As soon as I got into the gym, it was like a clip, you know, it was like love at first sight, quote unquote. I just fell in love with the atmosphere, and I was very, very intrigued by everything I saw, you know, just men working out, staying out of the streets, just staying disciplined to trying to perfect a craft that they love. So with that, I just, every other day, I'll ask them, you know, can you take me again? Can you take me again? And then sooner or later, I wanted to learn. So I told him, I told him, can you start teaching me? So from then, he started teaching me. I would progress really fast, surprisingly. And with that, it led to more training, then it led to fights.
And your father, tell us about him. Was he also a professional fighter or amateur also?
Yes, he was both amateur and a professional fighter. In the amateurs, he was a very, very, very good fighter. He actually went to the Pan American Games. He fought in the Mexican Olympic team. I believe he had over 125 amateur fights.
Arellano, right?
Yeah, Julian Sosa.
Uh-huh.
But in the professionals, I believe he only had 4 professional fights. But I believe just like his passion for the sport kind of died out as a fighter, not as a trainer. Okay. But then he started training after. As
an amateur, you fought in the PAL.
Yes.
You fought in the Golden Gloves. Tell us about your amateur experience.
Amateur experience, my record, I believe it was 68-12. And honestly, amateurs, in my opinion, it wasn't fit for me as far as my style.
Why?
Just because the way I fight at a very slow pace, but then I pick it up. But in the amateurs,
you gotta come out.
You gotta come out. It's all about points. Sure. And I wasn't used to that.
You're used to warming up. Maybe by the second or third round, you're into the fight.
Yes.
Where in the first round, minute of the bell in the amateurs, you gotta come out.
Yeah. So amateurs, in my opinion, I believe it wasn't for me. The amateurs was not for me. So that's what you could say made my decision about the professionals come a little sooner than it did.
Right. Now, you went from the PAL, you fought in the PAL, you fought in the Golden Gloves, quarterfinals. That was you were in the last Golden Gloves?
Oh, yes.
Right. And you went to the quarterfinal round, right? Now,
yes.
After that, you turned pro. Why the quickness to turn pro? I mean, you probably could have tried out for the next Olympics. Right? Mm-hmm. You're only, 20 years old,
yes.
Right? So you could have waited, right? Why the quick turnaround?
Just because I believe it was in the back of my mind, you know. As far as my style, it wasn't. I believe it wasn't suit for the amateurs. Because I did try to compete in national tournaments, and I would get into like the quarter round, semifinals, but that's when my style would kick in, and that's when I opened my eyes and noticed that this wasn't for me, because amateurs is all about that rapid pace, and every time, I believe I would fight good in the fights, but I would just come up short.
And if it was a pro judge, you probably won, but in amateurs.
In the amateur judges, right. I will always come up short.
Now, you fight out of Atlas Copter kids.
Yes.
So your teammates is Shushu Carrington, Bruce Carrington Jr., yes. And Earl Newman. Who else is in your gym?
We also have Christopher Colbert. He goes by B-Hop. Also Richardson Hitchens. We have Rashad Mati. We have... those are the names, yeah.
Now, going from the amateurs to the pro, what was the transition, especially out of the ring, in the ring, Explain the transition, and did it fit to you like a hand to a glove?
I believe it did. As far the transitions, just from the obvious noticeable transitions, no headgear. That was a good pros and cons, in my opinion. The pros because I'm able to see everything now instead of having just that little.
Because it sort of blocks your vision to away your peripheral vision, right?
Yes.
You can't see when the punches are coming, maybe, unless you're able to pick it up quickly. Right.
Yeah, so that, also just being able to be more elusive. I have no weight on my head, but the cons, this in the professionals, you feel everything, and this is why I believe where they say every mistake counts in this sport at the professional level, because if you make one mistake, you're gonna pay for it. It could be from a punch, it could be from elbow, it could be from shoulder. You're gonna feel everything.
Because in the pros, it's a whole new game. All types of tricks of the trade, right? Guys are elbowing you, they may be even spitting in your eye, right? Thumbing you, those types of things. Where in the amateurs, it's not the case.
Yeah, and now from outside the ring, that grew a lot too, as far as my fans.
Because you have also a management base. I know you live in Sunset Park, but you have management. Tell us about your management team.
Yes, their names is Felipe Gomez and Kevin Sullivan. They go under New Legend Promotions, New Legend Boxing, and they're treating me very well in the professionals as far as giving me good opponents to fight, which will please the crowd, and it will just get my name, exposure, and things like that. It'll pick it up at a rapid level, and also they're giving me good stages to perform in front of. At first I started at local venues, but now they picked it up, and I'm at the Barclays Center.
Right, we're going to get to that. Now, your first fight last year as a pro was where? Was in Queens?
The Resort Casino in Queens.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then your second one?
I believe it was in Long Island University at the gym they have.
And tell us about each step along the way that you took to get to the Barclays Center.
So yeah, it started with local venues. It was the casino, then LIU, then it was the Brooklyn Masonic Temple. But they were small venues. But those venues, I would always bring a large crowd, and I believe that was what opened a lot of eyes for me to take the next step in performing in
the Barclays Center. Tell us about that night leading up to the Barclays Center, that week, that whole night.
Man, fight week, just leading to the Barclays Center, it was very
you had Sunset Park behind you, right?
Very overwhelming, and it was a very surreal feeling, and just because it was all new to me. I wasn't used to this, especially fighting at this caliber, this type of stage. Just at the weigh-in alone, it was very exhilarating.
And also walking towards the ring that particular evening, how the jitters, how did you feel? I mean, what was your plan, and did you stick to the plan once you got in there? What?
Walking to the ring, that was, I'll always remember that. That would be a memory that I'll cherish forever. Just walking through the alleyways, knowing that Barclays Center already had a lot of fights in this past, and knowing every single fighter I know at the elite level walk through that same path I'm walking to that ring, seeing the crowd, seeing the lights, feeling the roar of the audience yell, it was a very surreal feeling.
First round.
Yes.
Let's go with that first round.
First round. You could say I kind of got off of the game plan just because the adrenaline and the jitters was getting to me, but I was focused at the time because I know my opponent.
And the second round, real quick.
Oh, second round.
Let's go to the round you knocked him out.
Just from before the bell rang from the second round, my father asked me if I was all right. I was more than all right. I was not tired at all. I was very pumped. And he's like, let's go get him. So as soon as that bell rang, I was in the zone, was throwing hard punches. One connected, that led to more combinations, put them down, and that was that.
Well, good luck. I know you're going to be fighting later on this spring probably, right?
Yes.
All right, good luck, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you.